All of you are sore. If you did not need immediate healing by one of the apprentice healers, you are left to heal naturally, which leaves you in a disjointed uncomfort. Knuckles swollen and bruised, joints swollen and overused. But there's something about the physical exhaustion of it all, the exertion, that when you do decide to sleep, it is dreamless. At first, it is quiet. But before I describe to you the errands of your dreams, there are two of you that I need to make a perception check. Lysandra and Zafkael.
I got a 22 perception.
So what'd you get, Lysandra? I'm sorry.
22.
Okay. The both of you have been waiting for your squad mates, your roommates, Sora, Talion. Sora left following the triage with Lamb. Talion left muttering he had something to take care of and hasn't returned. Around you, it is not quite yet lights out. And at lights out, it is required that every cadet be in their sky spire, in their barracks at the very least. They don't have to be asleep, but they must be accounted for. And their spire warden will do the rounds of checking. What is curious that both Lysandra and Zafkael note, it is not Armut tonight. It is someone you haven't met. You do not know if they are from House Terravox because this whole spire houses all of the cadets. This massive, towering spire. And it is connected. I would say there's a trifecta of spires on this floating island. Chains and bridges of steel connected to the central courtyard. But all of them, cadets from House Inferna, Tyrannus, Umbravex. You're all intermixed and intermingled. And this rider, she is a presence. In fact, as she moves through the tower, there is something wraith-like about her. There is an aura, and a black smoke trails behind her wherever she goes. As far as you can tell, her presence she doesn't forcibly make known. She is watching. And she does discern. Lysandra, you in particular, you and her share a moment of eye contact. And her odd colored gaze flicks down and back up, but not in the way of heat or sexual nature. Judgment. Taking all of you in. And you find, even though you are in a different room, Zafrael, she does the same to you. There is no sexual heat, but there is taking in all of your flaws. Maybe all of your strengths. Otherwise, the two of you, Lysandra, you don't know where Sora is. Zafkael, you don't know where Talion is. And there are many other cadets that you could speak to, if you chose. We're going to start with Zafkael. What would you like to
I
do?
haven't had a proper moment to talk to Astoria in this like entire time of recatching up with her. So I would like to try to track her down and talk to her for a moment.
Okay. Do you know which spire she's in or room? Also, Nightwind, thank you so much for the gifted subbies. Mwah. Everyone has a reroll.
I believe she was in the room with the same room as Sora and Lysandra, but I could be wrong.
I don't think that
So
she.
I'd check
I don't
there.
think that she was.
Would
Okay.
she not be in the same spire as the rest of us since she's a first year?
There's a trifecta of spires that are all interconnected.
Because I know, okay, then that makes sense, because I certainly don't remember last session ever hearing mention of her within our spire
Correct.
during the night.
Correct. But they're literally all right there.
I'll slowly go through them. The other person I'll keep an eye out for is Shard. I wanted to
Okay.
say one thing to
question
him
is,
as well.
Do you take the tunnels? And these are steel tunnels and sky bridges that are connected. They're closed, they're enclosed. Or do you walk out into the courtyard?
I'll take the tunnels.
Just so you're aware, the steel tunnels, several of them look as if something very big has landed on them. And they look like they're in ill repair. So, like something that has
That'll
Colossus
change my mind.
talons has just they're not rusted or I mean, they're still together. They're just a little bit crunched, some of them. Like they're a giant perch.
I
You go
mean, I'm
outside?
kind of tempted to go through them anyway. Maybe I'll get a glimpse of a dragon.
Okay. Constitution saving throw. And then followed
I
by
love making bad decisions.
a wisdom saving throw.
Good God. Shit, might as well make him make a deck save at the top of that. Go for the trifecta.
Let's go ahead and reroll that
Every
con
save.
save. With the one of those nice rerolls, we love them. So that's a 21 con
Okay.
and a 21 wisdom. I'll take the over 20 for both.
21 is all right. The fear starts in your ankles, and then it makes your knees warble, and it makes your bladder watery. And then you smell this distinctive smoke. And you see him. Wild eyes, smoking a long cigarette. And when he exhales, is black smoke. And he is standing in the center of the tunnel. And when he turns, there is a miasma of black smoke and red intertwined. Let me get his art and put it up. But you recognize him immediately.
My man, my man, my man.
Scars, the red eyes, the black hair, all of it. This is the dragon that tried to kill Astoria. And as he exhales through his nostrils, turning to you, you can feel the fear overcome you and your heart starts to seize. And there is a voice that says, "Tear, enough." And and you can see that his mouth glows like he wants to burn you. And instead, he licks his teeth, and the woman that the darkness follows, she says, "Enough," in a very soft, almost whispered voice. And you think that's his rider. Because the fear melts away, as if he pulls it back, reins it in. And the woman looks at you, those odd-colored eyes judging you. You only have an hour until you need to be in your room. And she steps away. She does not summon the dragon to her side. She does not tell him to get out of your way. He is standing there, a wall. The way that he moves is serpentine. His head kind of swiveling, tilting ever so slightly, nostrils flaring. You think that he's scenting you? What do you do?
I think I take a moment just to observe him. This is my first time probably seeing a dragon that I know of in human form. And I'm definitely intrigued, and this is definitely a learning situation, but I also don't want to overstep my bounds.
Like a creature, he licks his teeth. You hear a clicking. You can see that his gloved hand is twitching at his side, like he's touching, counting the fingertips to the thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think in an act of respect, I will make like a bow to the rider and then a bow to the dragon.
The rider's already moved away.
I still do it in her direction as this act of respect.
Okay.
And then I do it to the dragon as well. And then I'll try to slowly go around him.
You get parallel to him, faster than you can track. He moves in front of you, pushing you towards the side of the tunnel until you're back, your shoulders pressed against it, and he reaches behind you and he taps the glass and it shatters, and the wind and the snow, and he leans forward. All that holds you from oblivion is a thin railing.
I'm just going to put on my best brave face.
Okay. The aura, like electricity, starts to crawl across his skin. That fear, red and black. And he blows a plume of smoke out of his nostrils, and you don't think it's from the cigarette. Surprise. You are a surprise.
Am I a good surprise or a bad surprise?
He puts his gloved hand up, and you can see that he's trembling with a desire. Banal, malignant, beneficial, you don't know. But he stops. And his head whips to the side, and you didn't even hear them come up. But when you look, there is a woman, not the rider. Maybe a woman. Feminine features? It's hard to say, but she is glowing. Her skin freckled in starlight. He is a part of my house. No, no. Remove your hand, nightmare. The dragon shoves you once. I need you to roll a strength saving throw. As he steps back, he pushes you out the window. The strength saving throw, or dexterity, will determine if you are able to hold on to the railing and survive.
You said I can do dex or strength?
Correct.
Let's definitely spend a thing here because the 12 is not good. That's a 21.
Okay, you manage to grab a hold of the bark. Dang! And the snow. And as the nightmare steps back, he disappears, melting into the ground, into the shadow. the starlight freckled individual that doesn't feel human. The way that she moves is too graceful, too calculated. Stands above you, Zafkael, as the wind is blowing all around you. She does not offer help. But she does say, "Mortals, do not make requests of dragons. You do not question them. It is not your right to do so." What do you do?
Thank you for helping me. This was a very valuable learning opportunity. And I think I will wait until she leaves before trying to move on. I don't want to upset anybody.
Another dexterity saving throw. The pipe, the railing, it...
That's not good. Let's use all my inspos.
She does not move.
Okay, that's an 18.
Okay, you continue to hold on. Do you try to pull yourself up? She's not leaving. She's not moving.
Oh, I will. I will definitely try to pull myself up. And then move a little more to the center of the hallway.
Roll in athletics.
Hooray, net 20.
The moment you pull yourself up, and you're very chilled. You look up and the woman that's freckled in starlight is gone. As if she never was there in the first place. Who is left is that rider, the one with the long black hair. And she's standing in front of the window. You never heard her move, but she is frowning. And then she holds her hand aloft, and you watch as she mends the damage her dragon caused. And she mutters something that sounds like a kakalaka, but you're not entirely sure what she's saying, because she's not speaking it to you.
Thanks again for not letting him kill me. I'm fairly certain he wanted to.
Her eyes slide over to you. He did. You have 45 minutes. And then she
Okay,
leaves.
I better be going quick.
All right, Zafkael, roll me an investigation.
That's a 19.
You find Astoria. Before we go further, we're going to meanwhile to Talion and Sora for a minute while Mimi's in the bathroom. Which one would the party like to see first?
Right.
All right, Sora. Perception check.
Okay. Oh, that's actually very nice. Okay, 23.
All right, with a 23. Let me shift the music here. The thing about the triage spire is that it has, the first thing that you notice at the very least is that it has classrooms. It seems like they train their healer apprentices, their cadets, at the same time. You aren't entirely sure or unsure, but the feeling here is different. It isn't as intense. I mean, it is serious, yes, but it's softer somehow. It's nice. Gentle, warm orange lights that are not attached to any sconces or torches line the wall. As you pass them, they ignite, and the soft glow gives everything a fairy tale feeling. You pass several rooms that look like outright apothecary shops, and one of them bears the language of your people. The beautiful calligraphy on those wide scrolls, and you read it and it says, "Welcome, apothecary." The feeling that it rises in you is a complicated one. Seeing this little shop, it is closed. There is a rope and what you can assume is a magical barrier, because this shimmering wall between you and this space. But as you look, you can see porcelain, sachets, jars filled with blooming teas, healing instruments, and ingredients from your territory. What kind of feeling does that bring up for Sora? What are her thoughts? What does she feel as she sees this?
Man.
Not only that, but she's literally entered the base of the triage spire, and it feels like a whole different world. There are fresh blooming flowers, those soft lights. How does she feel overall? It's such a different, like, the spire itself is harshly shaped in steel and brick and stone, just like everything else in Mortalis, but the interior is like a cottage. How does she feel about it all?
I think complicated is such a beautiful word to put on it, because at first it's surprising, and then it's shocking, and it's warming, and then it's anger. Just so much anger. Like, where did they get these things? Like, who? Why? Is this why everything happened? Was it for this? And then she thinks of home, of her sister serving tea, and her youngest sister was so good at it. Like, amazing. It was an art form when she would mix the tea. So young and lively, and her mom would come in, and just everything that was feminine, that was with her mother and her sister that died. And it is a whisper, a memory of something that was stolen, taken, massacred. And it takes everything in her not to get trapped in the past. Because if she gets trapped, if she stays still, she cannot move forward for the things that she needs to do. And like the river, she continues onward, and she flows.
investigation check, please.
All right, that's an 11.
You do get lost for a hot minute. And you're a little surprised. But not when Astoria finds you. And she looks like she's just on her way out. Oh, Sora.
Oh, Historia. Well, I'm glad you're still in one piece. That's good to hear.
Well, yeah. I guess they didn't want anything on me to be broken. And I checked on Lamb.
I'm proud of you. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I guess.
A loss is just another way to learn what not to do. You did good, Historia. You did good.
That makes her smile coming from you. And you hear it, the way she shifts, her body language relaxing. You smell the change in the pheromones. Thanks. I guess I'm not your typical candidate for dragon riding, so it means a lot coming from someone like you.
Listen, there's nothing normal about this place. Everyone is got their own demons to hunt or to hide. Heck, maybe people just trying to find to prove themselves. But in any case, that doesn't make you any less of a possibility of a dragon rider. It is what happens in here, and she just points to her, like just taps her chest.
Her own
Here's your
chest
greatest
or
story.
Astoria's?
Historious.
You smell her blush. And there's a curious woven scent of, oh, you're attracted to me. Oh.
Sora's like, why? Sora's like, she must be very, very nice or something. Like in Sora's mind, she's like, she must be very nice. Maybe they hit her really hard in the head, you know.
Fair.
And she's taking it like, oh, that's a very nice, you know, like she's like, wow, this pretty like person feels that like that's so weird. These pretty people. Like, I'm just a fucking bug. I'm a cockroach, baby. It's just, Sora kind of like laughs.
The things that you said, are they about you? Are you hunting someone here?
I don't know if it's just someone or something, possibly, you know, a group of people. To be honest, it's more like I'm looking for something.
What's that? If I could ask.
Oh ho ho! Well, stick around and maybe you'll find out. And she gives her like a little like, how can I say? She just leans in and she's like, I would love to show you sometime.
Sora cannot
And also
see
you
it,
smell
but
very
Astoria's
nice.
eyes are glittering. And they hold a deep and profound respect for the shifter, whom it is clear she thinks is very powerful.
Now I'm looking for another comrade. I was going to check in the group for Lamb, and I'm sure that Zap's probably looking for you. He was the whole reason why he climbed this mountain was for you. So obviously, your friendship is very deep, and that's not something you find that often.
He has
So-
been my friend since we were children. You're right. I should speak with him. Lamb is this way.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. And
May
would you
I-
mind helping me, guiding me?
Of course. She like goes to ask, may I touch you? As you're like, can you guide me? Holding out your arm. And again, Sora, you miss the soft smile and the slight wobble of her elven ears.
Yeah, Sora's just like, yeah, friendship unlocked. You know, this is for her. This is like, is
Hey,
I guess
you could be best
just
friends.
because
Just because she's a crush on you
Or-
doesn't mean she, you know. Doesn't
you
mean.
know, who knows what'll happen. But
But regardless,
throughout the story,
she
you'll
takes your
guys
hand.
know.
Her
Mhm.
hands are very strong, actually, and they're calloused. You were expecting them to be
Oh,
delicate,
okay.
soft, but she bears the calluses only acquired through archery and swordsmanship.
Sora will make a mention. They're like, oh, your hands, they're quite nice. That of a warrior. I think
Oh.
perhaps this will be your proving ground.
Perhaps. But she
But not for all the other
Shifts.
people out here.
shifts her hands away so you can't feel them, and she's moved up to your elbow to guide you. And she's quiet.
Uh,
She grows quiet.
when she holds the arm, there's like, because she's wearing gloves like past her elbow.
Mm-hmm.
She'll feel like little rivets from like tiny scars, like lots of small ones. And Sora will continue, like, you shouldn't be so hard on yourself.
What I think we must be. I think tying our lives to something as majestic as a dragon, we have to be hard on ourselves. We have to be. They live longer than us, they are more intelligent than us, and their capacity for magic it's boundless. And I think that requires strict discipline and a reverence. I think I have to be worthy.
Perhaps. But would you like to be tied for the rest of a rock's life, or would actually something living?
I'm afraid your
Don't.
metaphor is a bit lost on me.
What I'm trying to say is you need to loosen up.
I see. I shall consider your suggestion. Here we are. He is resting.
Oh, thank you, dear. You're so kind. I'll see you at the Weird Cut. What floor are you sleeping on again?
Top floor. I'm not sure
I
which
see.
spire.
Good point. And I tell them where Zafkiel is sleeping, or where they should be.
Thank you. I shall go look for him presently.
All right. Have a good time. Take care. And hey, I'll give you a drink for surviving your first fight, eh? First one's on me. She just like kind of tilts her head and smiles broadly at her.
Deal. Thank you.
Ah, there we go. Okay. I'll see you later. And she just walks into the room.
You hear his soft breath. You can smell the herbs that were used, probably splayed out across his injuries. You can smell the astringent alcohol that was used to clean it. You can smell the bandages, the cotton. The room feels large, but when you reach your hand out, you realize that it's filled with beds, and in between many of these beds are curtains. You can hear, if you really listen, soft, slippered feet shuffling. Probably the healers and healer apprentices. And there's a little bit of relief that Lamb is being watched over. Even though you are not approached or spoken to, you can feel that you are being watched. What's your passive perception?
18.
There is something familiar in the way that lamb smells. You can smell that he had a fever and that he was sweating. And your mind travels back just before the fighting rings. A moment of reprieve. You met a boy on the side of the road, and he was throwing daggers for money. This boy said he was waiting for his brother to come pick him up and his sister because he'd ran away from prison, which you thought was crazy. But while he was doing that, he wanted to make some coin, and so he was throwing daggers. And what was also odd is that this boy smelled like herbs. And you, upon questioning him, discovered that his running away, his escaping from prison, was because he wanted to collect these rare healing herbs because one of his sisters was sick. And she had had a fever for a week and a half, and this little genius has decided to just leave. In the way that you spoke, this was a boy at the time, a boy. He was not anywhere near the curve of manhood, just a little guy. And the way that he spoke about his older siblings, he loved them, he adored them. But he was from the same territory as you, though northern. But he spoke your language, even though he himself wasn't a shifter. You remember spending the next 2 days with him, keeping him safe. Because he was, 11, 12 maybe? And he told you all about his family. About his cool older brother and his climbing and how he had tried to climb, but he was bad at it. How his family were so impressed by his ability to read something and memorize whatever he'd read on the page. His memory just formed pictures. You remember being impressed and also fiercely protective of this little kid. Because he reminded you of your own little kids. In fact, I think at this time your sibling was still with you, right, Sora?
Yes,
And
my youngest and my twin.
they got along well with this little lost lamb. All in all, you spent 6 days with him. On the second day, you finally decided, we're not going to stay on this side of the road, we're going to an inn. And he said, okay, let me leave some marks in some trees so my siblings can find me when they break out of prison. The boy, clumsy, on one of the days with his knives, cut his hand. You remember wrapping it, and it smells the same. Because the boy tended to it. He tended to it with some of the herbs that he had collected. Even though he was terrible with directions and he was lost and he didn't know how to get home, he was so faithful and hopeful that his siblings would come and collect him, and they did. They did, and all that he ever left for you was a note. A letter that your twin read to you. You wonder if this little lamb turned into a big lamb and is the same one. And you wonder if that's why he introduced himself as that. What do you do, Sora?
I think she would just start humming and singing the lullaby she would sing to him when he would get frustrated or like have a hard time sleeping under the stars. Just go. Kimi no naka ni aru wato wa kizaru. それらが結ばれるのは真実 And she just sings to him.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
He opens his
She
eyes
sings.
and he sounds like he swallowed a frog. And then he exhales. I didn't mean to let her get so close. I understand what it feels like to hate everybody, to be mad. And all I could think about was my dad.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. I understand. All too well, little lamb.
So you remember?
Mm-hmm. I do. Although, I still don't know what you look like, really. I can feel your hands, though. You've been out in the fields, you've grown so much.
You hear him, and hear him like moving. He grabs your hands and he puts them to his face. But not until he removes one of your gloves. And when you try to pull it away, you're
And-
surprised by how strong he is.
Yeah, that makes her flinch.
Nobody's here.
And
The curtain's drawn, they're not gonna see you. And he's gonna pull your glove off. And he's gonna put it to his bare skin on his face.
there is small cuts from basically where her knuckles are all the way to her elbows, as if anyone knows, like when you whip someone, or when like the nuns or people would take like pieces of bamboo and stuff and just whip as if and cut people as a form of discipline. And so they're all up and down her arms.
You find immediately, when your skin is bare and you feel his hands, same. He has the same. In fact, many of the uprising children that survived do. If not all of them. There were camps they were sent to. Or homes that were a lot like prisons. Some of them sent together, but many of them separated. And this was only the nobles, those that stood against the emperor. All of the adults were executed. But the children were spared. They've just been consigned, all of them, to enter Mortalis Academy.
Wolfen is saying, "Oh my goodness, you have a." I see that life has also made you a man, and she giggles.
I guess. And he puts, as you feel across his nose, he's like, yeah, it's been broken a couple times. And you feel like where his eyebrow's been broken and probably the upper part of the orbital bone. You can feel that there's some
Well, the
scars.
good news.
like in his hairline. He's got a cowlick. That's pretty funny. He probably is quite cute.
Yeah, she ruffles his hair a bit.
Another thing that's really strange about him is he's got a really strong jaw, but like smaller ears. But everything else about him is like lanky and long, except his ears. They're quite petite. It's kind of like, oh, little puppy ears.
Yeah. and she laughs about that.
Shut up.
And
Leave him alone. And he like brush. You could hear him brush his hair over his ears, like he's a little upset about
it's
it.
okay. Don't worry. I will not tell any of the eligible people around here about your small ears, but I'm sure many of them. I'm assuming you're a very handsome man now.
Yeah, I'm not interested
It'll
in
be okay.
romance or a relationship. I just
Why not? You're young.
I don't care.
You still got your life ahead of you.
I don't want one.
Yeah.
I want to get a dragon. I want to do good. I want to make my family proud. And
You will.
I want to protect my brother. Because he's... This might be the drugs talking. I'm sorry. It gave me a couple drinks for the pain, and I shouldn't share anything with you.
It's okay. I understand. You still fight very well. Don't ever be ashamed of that.
Yeah, thanks, I guess. Still shit at throwing and catching daggers, though.
Well, better than me. And she kind of does like a hand in front of her face. I couldn't even catch a dagger. Yeah. And she's like I guess unconsciously she's also looking for that scar. Like kind of like feeling his face, feeling his arms.
Yeah.
A part of our hopes that somehow he escapes.
Looking for the scar that he accidentally cut himself? Or is she looking for his brand from the Emperor?
I would say his brand.
There's a moment where he whispers, like, what are you looking for? And you whisper back, and he pulls your hand up to the back of his neck. His shoulders, down his back.
I think her hands tremble at that moment because he had to have been so young.
He was a baby, yes. He was very little. And over the brand, the burn, there are marks of a thatch being used, probably to punish him.
I understand. But unlike you, I'm so angry. I'm livid. What family do I have to honor if they're all dead?
I just... feel like people need hope instead of violence. Revenge.
What future?
It doesn't. Yeah, my siblings think I'm stupid too. It's all right. I get it.
You're not stupid. You're probably wiser than all of us combined.
I'm feeling a little tired, Sora. I think I'm gonna rest.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good idea. Take care. And she just puts on her gloves very quickly and turns and leaves and kind of runs into something because she just forgets to ask
You're
Gay
right. You
help
do
her
run
out.
into something, and it is a leather-clad, hard chest that you bounce off of. And we're gonna meanwhile right there. We're gonna meanwhile back to Lysandra. Lysandra.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. You still have not seen Sora. And it's less than an hour before lights out. I'm remembering Sora did say, I'm going after Lamb in the infirmary. So I do think Lysandra assumes she's there, but it is getting down to the wire. So there is maybe a slight anxiety, but not so intense that it's immediate.
I think given the day's events, she would. And I know this sounds very, wow, yeah, we get it. Wow, we know this is gonna happen. But she would go try to find Shard. He was just beat the fuck up, man. Yeah, she would do her best to search and see where Shard's dorm is.
Roll investigation.
I'll take it, 16.
You find him some levels above in your spire.
Okay.
He's freshly showered. He's no longer in a cast. Looks like he's been mended, healed. But he is standing, looking out through the steel and glass of one of those tunnels that connects the spires.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most serious you've ever seen him look.
Does he notice that I'm coming up behind him?
He seems completely disassociated, somewhere else in his mind.
Okay. She would slowly approach him so as to not startle him and just clear her throat and just you know, I was expecting to find you a little worse for wear, but you seem to be doing all right, save for that distant look in your eye.
He gets a bit of a cheeky smile, the distance disappearing from his gaze. Yeah. Shacked up with a cute little healer for a minute. She gave me a discount.
Sure, you had your fun. Yeah. She would roll her eyes. She won't give it any attention.
Okay.
And she would nudge his shoulder. You know, if I didn't know any better, I would say that you were jealous earlier.
He shifts so his chest is pointed to you. Oh yeah? And how do you feel about that?
I'd feel honestly kind of weirded out, but it's hot. It's hot. I'm good for a little possessive bang or whatever. I just feel like it was misdirected. And for that, I would like to apologize for pummeling your face in. I had my own problems that I was working through.
There's a moment where his gaze narrows, like he's assessing. You think he's gonna ask you about it? But then his eyes bloom with heat and it rolls off of his skin. You want to do something about it? And he's gonna step a little bit closer to you.
She would stick she would use her pointer finger and like poke it right between his pecs to like make sure he doesn't get any closer. So about that, while I came here to check on you and make sure you were all good after, the ass beatings you got today, I might have killed someone to get things out of my system. But if you're offering a proper fuck, then we can do that too.
Oh. Brutal.
Honestly, kind of fun.
He grabs the back of your neck, kind of pulling your hair, and he steps right up against you. I need you to know something, if this is gonna continue.
This? We putting a label on it?
I'm not exclusive.
It's quite ugly of you. In here, I thought you were going to have something meaningful to say.
He grins. Guess I'm just an ugly fuck.
Quite, actually. Are you expecting me to be exclusive?
Nope. And he's gonna bite your neck? Not at all.
Alright. That jealousy from earlier? Gone?
He chuckles. And he's kissing up to your ear. Puts a hand around your waist. A leg in between your thighs. You'll see if you stick around.
Oh, brother. Are you going to be one of those... And she's going to, like, pull his hair from the back of his head to make sure that he's, like, away from her neck. You're going to be one of those, fixer-uppers where I'm going to have to, like, stick the whole phase out and then you're going to fall madly in love with me and expect everything to change.
He just laughs. Like, because you've pulled some of that hair back.
What the fuck, Shard?
Or,
Great.
hear me out. A bedroom full of individuals. All loyal, loving. How does that sound? Fun?
That sounds like a nightmare. I can't be bothered to deal with my own emotions, let alone anybody else's and their feelings. I am a one-person kind of girl, and even then things can get a little rocky. So if you're looking for some type of harem or whatever the fuck it's called, I'm not the one. But for now, because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with you. You're not as forthcoming as you may seem.
We all have our secrets.
Do you want to maybe... Yeah, fuck you and your secrets. And she's going to pull his hair harder.
I would really like that right now.
Okay, great. I love that. I was just about to propose that maybe we go back to your dorm before it's time to... maybe I can stay the night. Maybe. I'll beat you up in many different ways, if you would prefer. You seem to like that little switch.
He chuckles. Guilty. And then he's gonna lift you up. And he's gonna walk you to his dorm while undoing laces and kissing you.
Okay, can I, while he's doing this, I know that I looked at him from not a sizable distance, but I looked at him from a distance before to see if there was anything that gave off that he wasn't who he was. Can I now, being close, I'm assuming, am I thrown over his shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I look for any markings on his back, on his... I don't know if he's undressing on the way to the damn dorms. Apparently, I'm the one being undressed.
It's just because you got
any
long
type
laces
of...
on your boots and stuff like that. He's like, this fucking shit takes too long to get off, so I'm gonna do it now.
So, yeah, just I want to make sure that I am looking for any type of sign, marking, anything that he is otherworldly
Roll
to
investigation check. You can only roll it once.
where my D20 at? Can I do fuck, I'm rolling it. I'm rolling it. I'm using the dice. I
Okay.
forgot I had them and then I just found it. Ready?
Yeah.
16 plus what is it? 2? 18.
It is when you are in his dorm bed, and he's pretty far up, so he only has one other roommate, and that roommate isn't even in the room. You see across his shoulders, wrapping down his arms, a pearlescent, almost tattoo, but it pulses as he reaches a zenith in your copulation. And his eyes flash, and he drops his head back with a groan.
Okay, Starlight.
For a moment, that mark that starts at his shoulders, down his arms, you see that it travels down his pecs, but faintly, and then it blooms across his hips just above his sex,
Yep.
and it's very deeply arcane in nature. And it's so quick, the flash of it, you almost miss it. But what is not lost on you, the shadow that is cast in the glowing blue light of his lantern. Because each room is filled with blue lanterns, unless it's the healing ward, and then they're orange. But behind him on the wall in his shadow are a set of wings.
Oh, sorry. I am Lysandra. Give me a moment.
But that's when
Upon seeing,
he flips you over, pushes your face down into the pillow, and he's voracious.
yeah. Well, very dragon-like of him. What the fuck? But she would, at the very least, after having seen that, she would indeed know what that is. Or do you want me to roll? I can roll.
I mean, it's hard to assume dragon because there's so many other, like there's tieflings that are
He's a
winged,
worm.
there's elves that are winged. You know, he could be demonic in nature. Dragon, it's really hard to.
I mean, I meant the markings. Like, would she know?
No clue.
Like, would they?
With an
Okay.
with an 18, no
So the
clue.
markings have no significance. Okay.
But she could maybe draw them and do some research in the archive tower later. Or
Yeah,
talk
she
to
would definitely commit them to memory.
someone like Lamb, who's really good at history and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would absolutely commit them to memory prior to having her brains, I guess, drilled out of her. I was gonna say maybe like after copulation, she would like trace them, but I don't think she would give it off quite yet. But she would absolutely after the copulation. Assuming, would he go to sleep after?
No.
Or is he one of those insatiable type? Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's quiet. You need to make a Constitution saving throw, because once he's done, then it moves to all about you, and he's got a mouth and fingers and everything that he could possibly use to please you. He uses. He's
What the fuck? Okay.
He's
What do you
insatiable.
Jesus Christ. What dice do
It
I
gets to the
roll,
point,
dude?
Lysandra,
What
like
the
maybe
fuck?
this is why he wants multiple lovers. Like, oh my god, please be done. Like you're slapping him in the face. Like, stop.
Man, one thing about me is if we're judging from the last campaign, I dealt with a phoenix. I'm cooling, okay? What dice do I roll for this constitution? You have to walk me through physical die. How wonderful.
D20. They're your
Okay.
Constitution saving throw. Yeah.
Plus, what is it? Plus 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
You fall asleep before he does.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. In fact, when he gets up out of the bed and he tucks you in, the door opens and it is not a cadet that steps through, but the conversation is between two males. And they get really close. And you don't know if they're mad. It sounds like they're mad. But it sounds like they're also fight whispering, maybe? But you are too exhausted. Like it's probably almost dawn by the time Shard lets you rest.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Here I was trying to sneak out to go draw his fucking markings, and this dude said absolutely not. Okay. We can end it there and assume that she would wake up when it's time for the day to get
For
started.
class. Got it. Okay, well, meanwhile, over to Talion.
How are you doing?
Hey. I need you to roll for your stealth because you are slipping away. For the things that you requested last time.
Oh boy.
I
You want it
can't
on
spell.
Forge, or do you want me to just use my dice?
Either way. Yeah, either way.
You know I'm gonna use my dice. I love my dice. They're so nice. Although Forge has been, Forge has been very surprisingly friendly to me in the first few sessions. Knock on wood. Let's go with red today. Okay, not bad, not bad. That is a 25.
All right. The question is, where do you go?
That depends on where would be a good location to conduct this sort of business.
You've never been at Mortalis. You don't have it memorized.
Well, then my first objective is finding a suitable location. My intent was to be able to do this as soon as I got onto the academy, but we had to adjust to the magic.
So there is the courtyard, the main courtyard. There's plenty of places to hide with it being so snowy outside. Main courtyard basically has sections that are iron fenced around for mostly fighting. Then there's the main school itself, which looks like a old Gothic church, and it's colossal. The school itself is lined with huge steel and stone perches, you assume for dragons to land upon. So it's just massive brick and mortar work. So there's a lot of high up places that you could climb to, chill in. You could be out on the courtyard. You could be in one of the different spires, like the cadet spires. You could go to a different floating island because they're all attached by chain and narrow bridges, but that would require acrobatics or athletics to get to in a snowstorm. There's plenty of places.
The question is, how much time do I have at this point?
This would be about an hour before lights out, same as everyone else.
Okay, so I don't have a very big window of time to get this done, which means I probably shouldn't go too far.
Right.
This time. I guess we'll try for somewhere in the main courtyard. Somewhere well hidden and out of sight.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And your stealth was, remind me?
25.
Okay. You are hidden. You are. But you see in the center of the courtyard, appearing out of a pool of liquid darkness, is this big motherfucker. And I say big because his width and his height, a wall. He's impressive and frightening. There is no saving throw against the aura of his fear. You are afraid of him. and it is seeping from him like red and black smoke, and the red swirling, eddying with the black looks like blood. And as he exhales, the inside of his mouth glows, and it's purple. And he curses, and it's a little bit of flame as he... And he pulls out a pack of cigarettes, and he lights one just by spitting on it, just with his flame, and then his head whips over in your direction, all serpentine, really slow. And that smoke, he exhales it from his nostrils. Hiding in the dark. What are you? A little cat? A little bitch cat hiding in the snow?
Fucking damn it.
He seems to be the only one in the courtyard. Anyone that was in the courtyard, they have gone inside through their fear. But you have not. You stood your ground despite being completely terrified.
How do I respond here? Lovely. I love it here. Yeah, so much for hiding. I doubt he's actually hidden to this guy. Naturally, he has a dragon. He'll step out from his hiding spot.
As you step out, unbeknownst to Talion, ahead of you, Zapkael is dangling for his life.
Oh, good.
Because that scene has just happened, and Tara has come down here.
Despite the fear, and I might have to roll something for this, but Talion sort of shrugs, gives us a little bit of a smirk, and just says, well, after spending a week in a cramped spire, dealing with whatever the hell was keeping me asleep for a whole week, figured I'd stretch my legs, get the lay of the land a little bit.
Why do you want to bond a dragon? And there's something that shifted in his attentions to you. I need to know what your passive perception is to see if you've noticed it, despite your fear.
It's a 14.
When you stood up, when you made an appearance, his eyes widened ever so slightly, and he pulled the cigarette away, and he deeply inhaled, but it's almost imperceptible. And after that inhale, you feel his aura of fear. He's pulled it back, and the energy has shifted from you are an annoyance and deserving of death to something more curious.
Talion just kind of tilts his head at the question. He still has that same smirk on his face, but he just says, well, that required me to talk about my whole life story for it to even make sense. I don't even think I really have the time to really go through it all.
He frowns. I don't like liars.
You think that's a lie?
He steps forward. I think your entire visage is a lie. And he puts the cigarette back in the side of his mouth, and he closes the distance. You only see him take one step, however, before there's a stuttering in the air in front of you, and it makes this like warbling. And he is in front of you. You don't look how everyone sees you. Why? And then he's gonna poke where you're marked by a certain someone. Hoping to free yourself? Is that why you want a dragon?
Kind of rolls in. I'm gonna roll an insight on that. What does a 22 get me?
You
Because
have
this at that
heard,
this
you've heard that dragons have true sight. Magic, concealment, invisibility, all of that means nothing to them, especially the older ones. It is said that some of the older dragons, some of the big dragons, can even see the past and the future in any one moment of time, simply because they want to. They are the equivalent to waking gods in this world. In fact, you know Mortalis floats because of the dragons. The magic that simply emanates from them naturally. In fact, there is a belief that all magic in this world emanates from dragons' existence, and without them, magic would die. The fact that these near godlike creatures would bond with humans is asinine and it makes no sense, but mortals do not question dragons. They have their own machinations and goals, their own imperium and dynasty. He might even know something about you that you don't know, Talion.
I would say when he says that,
I
Talion
also want to ask, just for the sake of everyone imagining this, how tall is Talion?
right at 6 foot.
Okay, this man is a whole tits, shoulders, and head taller than you. Massive.
Okay. You know? I will say that when he says that, Talion's smirk falters. It doesn't break, however, it just seems to it becomes sharper, both in itself and the way he gazes up at him. Free myself, that would require me to be chained by something, wouldn't it?
And Talion's being honest.
Yeah, he doesn't know. I free himself from what? What the hell is he talking about?
This dragon smiles. He... You don't even know.
Well, I guess I don't. But I got a feeling one way or another I'm gonna find out. Maybe that's why I'm here. To find out.
He bends backwards for a moment, like just absolutely lost to laughing at what he thinks is a very, very funny joke. You're not really sure what he's laughing at, but when he straightens, this is what he looks like, looking at you.
You don't even know.
He grabs your throat and he squeezes for a moment, and all of that aura is back, and you are afraid, Talion, and then he leans really close to your ear and he licks the shell of it, and you do not think it is anything sexual. You think he is considering ripping your head off and eating it. He whispers softly,
Some dragons are interested in you. So you live. But as far as I'm concerned, you're a fucking liar.
and he lets go of you and steps back, and the wildness of his gaze doesn't leave, but he smooths his hair back and he exhales. And then there's a sharp whistle, and you see this woman again. And she shouts, "Terra!" And in front of you, as he steps back, you feel the floating island of the spire shift with his weight, with his change. And I will show you what he looks like. He is colossal. Absolutely huge. His face is tall enough that he reaches beyond the spires themselves as he straightens like a mountain. The island, you can feel that it is straining. The bridges are stretched taut. The steel begins to pop, the glass. And Ren says, "Enough!" He's got a moon-shaped face that he wiggles serpentine towards her, and he just swallows her whole, bridge and all. And with one mighty beat of his wings, he takes off, pushing all of the snow and flurries around you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, a Strength saving throw, or a Dexterity saving throw to hold on. The wind is like a hurricane from his wings, and you hear inside his mouth someone punching his teeth, yelling, "You can't walk in! Let me out, you bitch!" And you also hear, despite the fear, his tongue just like, and she's screaming on the inside, but it's terrifying. Though he's being playful to his rider, you think he would just eat you. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just sounds like she's just fucking cereal that he's swishing around in his mouth.
Well, Talion got a natural 20 on a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, you managed to hold on. You are thrown backwards some 50 feet as this incredible red dragon takes flight. Yep. He dives down. The moment he leaves the floating island, it buoys and bounces up, shattering several bridges. It's hundreds of feet that it... What do you do?
I think once Talion rights himself, I'm just going to say this is a rule of cool because he got a natural 20. When he got blasted back, he managed to somehow roll himself to his feet with the momentum. And he's kind of straightening himself out as the dragon is just fucking going ham. He notices the tremble in his right hand that he has to forcibly, like, clench into a fist as if some sort of training kicked in that moment. Be as still as a blade. How much time do I have left?
About 45 minutes after that interaction. It was relatively quick, all things considered.
Okay.
In fact, when you turn away to find a stealthy place, you hear the same noise, that same like stuttering and snap, and a soaking wet Ren appears out of a pool of black magic. And she punches the ground, pissed and just drenching in dragon spit. Just
Vested in front of me, covered in dragon saliva.
Yep.
I'm going to assume that's a normal occurrence between the two of you.
She looks at you with slitted eyes, frowning, and then stands. You have 45 minutes before you need to be in bed. And then she's going to move away.
He just nods, gives her a small smirk, and says, "Appreciate the reminder."
There is someone that opens a window from a dorm room. And when you look up, you see this girl with these glowing blue eyes. And she says, "Hey, Ren, I got a towel for you." And she just drops this wadded up bald towel that Ren catches out of the air before continuing her night warden activities.
I think while that's happening, Talion's going to try to slip away and find an alternate location.
Roll another stealth for me.
That's a 27.
All right, you find another place. This time adjacent to the courtyard and hidden through some mortar and rock columns up tight next to one of the spires. What do? This is a small... you have special paper and ink in which to write your updates and then burn, and they send to whom you need them to get to.
Okay, cool. In that case, I will... In the time that I have left, I will do so. I will write it as an additional metric of security. I will write it in Thieves' Cant, which will take extra time, but it adds an
does.
extra layer of protection.
Thief Cant is more symbols with a vague meaning, but in a certain combination, they create a whole paragraph, a narrative. What do you write, if you'd like to share? What are some things that you add to this?
Part of me doesn't want to. I'm kidding. Well, to begin with, a confirmation that I actually made it here. Information that I overheard regarding our wing leader and his seeming desire for wanting all of the marked children to survive the academy. Do I know who this particular letter is being sent to directly? Or is it just to them?
I will be cycled through magical means and then eventually sent to your commander.
Is my quote-unquote commander the one who trained me, or is this a different person?
They did not train you, they trained the person who trained you.
Okay. And if it's not to that particular person, then I gonna keep it all business. I'll bring up other areas of note, such as amongst the group he's found himself with, there is someone who has... Remind me again, DM Lamb was already a rider once, correct?
No.
No, he wasn't.
Nope.
Okay. Let me double check my notes on that. Right, he has... He marks Lamb basically as a person of interest, given his higher level of knowledge, apparently.
You got it.
The rate at which he'll be able to send these letters is unpredictable, given the fact that the defenses that he had planned are not very effective against dragons. So he'll have to pick and choose his moments to report carefully. And with that, he burns the letter and sends it on its way.
Hey, a purple flame. and a wisp of wind as it disappears. Several of the flurries pass through the flame, and they do not burn, not with this arcane fire. You receive a response almost immediately. You wait a solid 20 minutes, which gives you only 15 or so, all things considered, to make it back to your dorm for lights out. The message that you receive, that you read, as you unfold the paper, it immediately begins decaying. The magic destroys itself after a certain seconds, and it says, confirmed. You are to keep the peace, you are to continue watching, and you are to make note of persons of interest from the resistance. Likewise, any children of the Emperor's generals, you are to watch as well. Do not intervene. Maintain your studies. Bond a dragon. Report when you can. And the very bottom of it is actually a friend of yours. Like, she pushed the messenger out of the way and scribbled, "Don't die, idiot." And then it burns and ashes away.
I know the name of said friend.
You smile. Her code name is simply Fox.
All right. No time to linger. He's gonna head back for his dorm before lights out.
Okay. And we're going to take our first BRB right here. And then we'll be back to role play more. Hello. And we are back. And we are going to do another round robin meanwhile to hit on more pieces of the story. So we actually start with Zafkael. Astoria, on her way back to the spire, headed to bed, and you, still looking for her after the events, run into each other in the hallway.
Astoria. It's just who I was looking for.
Sora mentioned that you might be looking for me.
We haven't had a chance to properly talk since reuniting. I have something important to ask you. I want to know why you decided to switch to the riders, come here to Nocturne Mortalis without telling me.
She clutches the strap of her satchel. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, or not involve you. I really didn't.
I'm listening.
Let's not talk here. Follow me.
Zafka will follow.
Once inside her dorm room, and she sets her satchel down, she's still faced away from you, and you notice almost absent-mindedly that her hair is a lot shorter than it's ever been. Usually, her hair is so long that it drags slightly behind her, and she has to pleat it end over end and then wrap it up. But it's short now. It cut at the top of her hips, and all of it is braided. And the gems that she used to weave in her hair are no longer there. It's simply a plain braid. How much do you know about the Blighted Lands, Zafkael?
Very little. Only what I've read in the monastery.
I see. The manticore And chimera riders are, as you know, our enemy. The beast-forged legions of the Blighted Lands. I ran into one. When she finally turns to you, you can see she's blinking. Her mouth is open, closed. I was so frightened, I couldn't act. They were defeated by a dragonrider. But I'm sorry, I haven't told anyone about this, so it's rather difficult. You can tell that her pulse is fluttering. You can see it in her neck and the way that she's wringing her hands. A bloom of anxiety is probably sitting, relaxing, reclining in her chest, making her sweat and feel fear. The scars on their bodies are just as terrible as we've been told stories of, Zafkael. Any healing was simply absorbed, eaten by the marks. And these were not normal scars, not like those from the uprising. We've treated many of those, you and I. These were like living things. And she moves over to the window to check it, and then to the door to check it. And she turns her back to the door, looking at you, and you can tell that she is afraid. She says, these scars, they are like the ones the old professor told us of. The ones... I need you to roll a history, Zafkael.
That is only a 5.
You vaguely remember any of these lessons, and so what she's talking about, yes, you believe you had these conversations with your professor, these lessons, but you don't remember them specifically, not in the way that she does. And she continues, she says, they were like burns, but also scars, like the cartilages and the tissue it had built, but their flesh, it was still overly hot, it was still burning, and they were in constant pain. And the star burns, Zafkael, I saw them. I saw them up close, personal. They're real. They are real. Roll another history.
That is an 18.
At the monastery, your healer, your professor, the priest that apprenticed both you and Astoria, was also a historian, an Eladrin, and he has seen easily 9 centuries. And in this time, he has heard and seen a lot of history, a lot of rumors, a lot of legends. And one of them, one legend he spoke of, was the threaded moon. The threaded moon that drifts across the heavens, and from its wake descends a rain of starlight. You remember him speaking of the Blighted Reach, the physical location of the Blightlands, where this starlight fell, according to legend, and it burrowed into the land. How it weaved through living matter, twisting everything that it touched, turning it into something other. In fact, some scholars believe that chimera, manticore are forged through a corrupted process. They are crafted. That they are beast forged. Emphasis on forged creatures of malice and chaos and villainy. Mad scientists, artificers, wizards, willing to touch the malignant void. To be honest, it was a decision in some ways I made in haste. But I cannot unsee these burns, these scars. If the threaded moon is real, Zafkael, the only way to save everyone is through dragon fire.
I understand that. I'm still just struggling to see how you didn't even talk to me. Ask me to come with you.
I didn't want you to think I was crazy. No one believes the threaded moon is real and that star scars even exist. They don't think that that's a necessary aspect of bonding a dragon. They think it's only this war between the beast-forged legions and Mortalis. They believe that we are the protectors of the North, but Safkael, I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to be duplicitous or lie. I didn't want you to think I was crazy. I didn't want you to think less of me for giving up my oaths. And she moves across the room close to you, clutching her hands over her chest. My oaths demand I protect people, that I care for them. And I think this is the best way to do so. A trained healer, capable of traversing the continent on Dragonback in 12 hours. There are also rumors that a dragon can do so much more. Planar shifting, winnowing through time and space. Imagine bonding a dragon and being able to shift through magic itself, reappearing in any location in an instant. How many lives could I save? I didn't tell you, but my mother died in the attack against the chimeras. And I was just lost and afraid. I'm sorry.
I think there's just this look on Zafkil's face. You know, you could have told me anything, right? You could have told me nothing and just told me we're going to become dragon riders and I would have followed you.
It's not my choice to make that for you, Zafkael. I couldn't say we're going to be dragon riders. It's so selfish of me.
I don't care if you're selfish. I'm just upset that you left me behind. Reminded me of how I got to the monastery to begin with.
Sorry.
It's getting late. I'm gonna go back to my dorm. Thanks for answering my question. And Zafkael is just gonna leave.
There is a tension that blooms between the two of you. Like an echo from some distant and abysmal place. Her expression is remote as she holds the door open for you, even though the tears are still falling from her lashes. There is an intensity and a strain in the bridge that connects your hearts. She mutters a brief goodbye, Zafkael, before closing her door. And we meanwhile from there, with Zafkael returning to his dorm, over to Sora. Sora.
Oh.
You bump into a familiar NPC. His scent is of cold wind. He smells like snow. You hear the leather of his armor and his flight goggles. As he pulls them from his face, it's clear he's just come from a ride with his dragon. Galen. He grabs your ungloved hand before you have a chance to pull it away. But he does so because you hit into him so hard that you almost tumble. And he says, I think he just mutters,
Careful.
I'd like my arm back now.
he lets it go once you're steady. But the way that he drops it is almost like, there's an emotion behind it, some kind of tension. But
Sora would be like putting on her glove, and I think she could tell she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed that he saw that of her. And she's like, I was just on my way out. Like, take care of the little lamb. And she will get past him and try to leave.
over his shoulder, he calls out to you.
They're stories. They're not something you need to be ashamed of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's
I
gonna
got to
walk
go.
over to you. You hear the sound of his boots. Do you wait or do you run?
She's gonna try to calmly walk. Like, she's like, it doesn't affect me. It's fine. Like, she's trying to play it cool.
Okay. You hear his boot falls shift. His strides are much longer than yours. And he shifts in front of you again, blocking your path. And he grabs your hand, and he is stronger than you, Sora. And he brings your hand to the side of his face that is ugly, destroyed. And he forces your hand against his skin, and he says, "It's just a story." Get some sleep, cadet.
I think
Classes start tomorrow early.
that surprises her a lot. And oh God, she just mutters, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." I know. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. And
It's not necessarily true. And he steps away. Sometimes what doesn't kill you only gives you experience.
we live to die another day, then. But it's not today, and it will not be tomorrow.
You hear him smirk. You hear that. No, cadet. It's ride or die. And he steps away from you.
Also, I'm not cadet. And she turns around to him and she's like, "I'm not cadet. I have a name, and it's Sora." And she walks out.
What she doesn't hear is him say her name while watching her leave, like a whisper, Sora. What she also doesn't hear is him pull the curtain aside looking at Lamb and say, "Why did you fucking hesitate? She could have killed you." And he's like, "Brother, I'm sorry. Sorry? Not as sorry as you're going to be, cadet." Yep. And from there, Sora makes her way back to her dorm, and we meanwhile to Lysandra. Miss Lysandra, please roll a perception.
Sure. Modifier. +5. 16.
You wake bleary-eyed sometime right before, maybe like an hour before you're supposed to be up for classes. No bell has rung, no one's come through to wake you or banging on the door. You're surrounded in the smell of shard. It looks like he still doesn't have a roommate. The door is slightly ajar, and you hear Shard speaking to someone, or someone rather speaking to Shard. And they are saying, and you overhear this, "Your father is going to be incredibly disappointed when they discover that you are here." And Shard is like, "Oh wow, tough titties. Can't pull me out now. I already made the climb. I'm going to have to report this. Or you could just not report it and just relax, hang out, fuck a cadet, a lieutenant, a wing leader. There's a half-orc, mommy. You might like that. There's a twink, huh? Please, young master, I'm not in the mood." "You're never in the mood. You're just a stiff. I have to report this to your father." "Okay, you know what? Whatever. Tough tits. He can't pull me out." There's a moment of tension. "My report could be delayed." "Ah, now we're talking. At least let me bond a dragon first. Come on. Let me get one. Then I can ride it on home and impress Daddy with it. You think he'll like it?" "I think he's going to be very mad." "Yeah. Who cares what he thinks?" You hear Shard pat someone's shoulder, and it sounds like they're wearing leather armor, and he's like, you know what, Rain? You're a good guy. I'm real grateful that you're on my side. I am starting to question my sanity being your bodyguard. Good night, Rain. Good night. And the door opens, and Shard steps in, still in his pink robe and his jewels.
Fucking pink.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And he, you awake?
She's gonna pretend to sleep.
He comes over, poking your cheek. Just softly, like tapping it. Leash? Hmm.
She'll pretend that like she's just waking up to him like poking her on the cheek.
Good morning.
Morning already. You only lasted about 2 seconds. I thought it was still nighttime. You could tell she's being sarcastic.
They've got cookies. You want to head to the cafeteria?
Only if you promise to carry me again.
Sure. You're gonna have to join me in the shower and rub my muscles. And he's gonna grab his
Rub your-
towel and step out in the hall and head to the.
Do I look like a fucking slave?
Nah. You just look like a really hot bedmate. And a killer.
I have a question.
Yep.
I know you said that he started to like undo her lace and her boots and stuff like that while they were walking to the dorms. Did he take off any of her other clothes on the way to the dorms? Like, is she just like naked right now and kind of shit out of luck?
No, he waited to take her clothes until they were in the dorm and then collected her boots. They're there.
Okay. Just just making sure I don't have to run out of there with a blanket over my tatas. She will roll her eyes, quickly put on her clothes, and follow after him. Would she see any remnants of the tattoo?
Nothing. There's nothing.
Nothing at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
In the shower, like you're like looking, nothing.
Mhm.
He's definitely maintaining some kind of concentration, she assumes, to keep it hidden.
Can she? Can she try to break his concentration by teasing him?
These are public showers. You can, yes. Just I want you to know that other cadets are showing up to shower before.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares.
Him? No. I'm just letting you know as a player in case. So you can make an informed decision. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a performance.
Bruh, I got shit in performance.
What else would you like to roll? Dexterity saving throw.
Listen, all it takes is a natural 20, okay? You can roll anything you want.
I can argue for a dexterity saving throw. Yeah. I'm working my magic, you know? I'm working my magic. You gotta be dexterous and live. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25.
Good lord.
I'll give it to you.
Jesus.
You break his concentration a little bit. You see a flash of it.
Okay. She is going to, like, what she's doing right now is, like, putting together... I don't know if you guys have ever watched Prison Break. The way that Michael Scofield, like, maps everything in his brain. That's exactly what she's doing. Committing it to memory so that way she can go ahead and draw it later, just like she would map out terrain. She's a ranger. She's used to hunting. She's used to mapping out her grounds, her hunting grounds. So she's doing exactly that. I don't know if you want me to roll, kind of hide that she's doing that. Roll a deception. You want me to roll a deception? I'll roll a deception for you.
Intelligence saving throw.
It's a saving throw. I forgot. That's a 12. Well, what if I just cry?
12. Middle of the road. He seems distracted. Regardless, yeah.
Too distracted to notice.
Yeah, that you are like concentrating on other things. Mm-hmm.
With that being said, she will rub his muscles for him, I suppose.
Yeah, he's cheeky as fuck and throws you over his shoulder and carries you down to the cafeteria.
Okay.
There are several men and women who are mad about it. Like, you can see that they, because you're over his shoulder. As he walk, like, when they see his face, they're nice. When they see just you and his back, they're like, should have been me.
Is that your fan club?
Huh?
Do you not see everyone staring?
No. I just see this, and he's gonna grab your ass. Just
Oh,
shake
so
it
you
a
only
little.
have eyes for me. How cheeky.
I've been called worse.
You know what? Kind of interested in new names to call you.
I like Daddy.
Don't. I knew.
He
You
giggles.
disgust me.
As he sets you down, he's like, or you could call me Kitten. Puppy. I like that one.
Well, for me. Then we might go there.
He just grins. And yeah, the two of you are gonna get some chocolate cookies. And they are surprisingly good. Like, you're like, oh, Dragon Rider War College. But the thing about dragons is they do like to eat. And when any day could be your last day, the meals are resplendent. They are decadent. So this is a triple fudge cookie. And it is a lot of chocolate punched to the face, and they are the size of your hand.
She would look at it. He's like very clearly enjoying the fuck out of it. Like he's just like he's going
Yes.
in on this cookie.
Oh, yeah.
Is there other food available other than cookies?
Yes, there's regular breakfast food. Waffles, chicken,
Okay, so
bacon, cereal.
She's gonna look at him and just be like, so what are you, some sort of man-child prince who likes eating dessert for breakfast?
Yeah, well, I guess you could say that if you want. Whatever you assume about me, Lee, I'll let it be your truth. And he winks.
Maybe I want you to tell me the truth, not my truth.
Okay. We're not dating yet, so...
Yet?
We have...
How presumptuous.
You're right. I have goals for a harem, a horde of lovers, if you will, and you just want one. So, you're right. You might not ever know.
Maybe we should just cut it off now. Save ourselves the hurt.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could, except I seem to recall you not being able to stop yourself last night. And I don't know if anyone else could handle you the way that I did. And I handled you pretty well. You would say so?
He thinks about it. Yes.
Okay, good, thank you. Because if it would have ended with an I might have had to take back that apology for beating your ass and then do it again. Anyways...
He throws his head back and laughs. You got lucky.
I did not get lucky. We can test it again. I mean, it would probably be
Sure.
best in the bedroom.
Yeah, from
But-
the top ropes. Or next time we hit the mats, you can fight me. And he, like, plays footsie with you under the table.
Such a cheeky little bastard. Anyways, why are you so secretive?
Some secrets are worth keeping.
Do you enjoy having everyone perceive you to be some weirdo, harem-wanting whorebag with no substance, or...? You've got to want more.
I want a dragon. Like you.
More than that? Goals
Nope, not really.
that don't involve sleeping with somebody? You really are a princely little fuck, aren't you?
Well, you can eat your cookie. You should. We might die today.
We might. Protein is usually best in the mornings. It makes you feel full, strong. You know, do you want my cookie? And I don't mean my vagina.
He grins. Oh, you knew exactly what I was thinking.
Of course.
But
You're not hard to figure out.
He's got a plate of chicken and like little French stick pieces of bread and then a cookie. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you can take.
You know what my
take the
favorite part
cookie.
of all this is?
Ooh,
You say these
aside from thanking me.
insulting things to me, and yet I'm still good enough for you to go for a ride. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's maybe that I'm more interested. You know, has anyone ever told you that we kind of look alike? You know, we just met, but maybe I'm a narcissist who wants to fuck someone that looks like me.
It's the pink
Except
hair, isn't it?
not as pretty.
Funny.
I am, aren't I?
Maybe I'm a little
Maybe that's why you want to
narcissistic
bang me.
then.
Damn, you really are fucked up inside that little head of yours.
Or maybe we just see where it goes. Huh? We just ride it out.
Okay, so you won't mind if I look at who is in the room that would be very obviously like a contender in looks to Shard.
Oh gosh. Shard's one of like the Lamb, but he's not here yet. Cause Kalen's here eating, or Callan's here eating, but one side of his face is like really fucked up and ugly, so.
Sorry.
Talion's hot as fuck, so. He's
Not in the party.
Oh, not in the party. Okay. I was gonna say Sora. Okay, hold on.
Better list off like a list of 20 fucking names.
I was about to say our entire party is very attractive.
Yeah, that would be too easy.
Safkael's really gorgeous, but no party members. God, I don't know. See, because in the terms of like the scale of pretty, Shard is like one of the top pretty in the whole fucking academy.
Damn it, man.
Yeah.
I just need a man that like
Armut's
count.
attractive, but he's kind of got like big features, and so that could be considered unattractive in a way. Astoria, definitely, if you're looking at women too, Astoria, there is a drow
True.
who's gorgeous, and she's kind of androgynous. She's gorgeous.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Kaylin.
Okay, so
I wanted to go with Armut, but I thought Armut wasn't here.
He's in the cafeteria, yes, but he's not. You're in a completely different spire. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Here, I have friend shaped. That's what his PNG is called. Yeah. And then
So I wouldn't be able to see him.
And then there's Kaylin.
Armut.
Yeah. Callan, whatever.
Okay, wait,
you know
wait,
what?
wait.
I fuck it up every
Cat
time.
and Kaylin. No one fucking knows, man.
I say it right.
So
Yes, lamb
so I
art
don't
is
see
coming.
Armut.
I just don't have it yet, but it is coming. You'll get lamb art.
I
Yeah.
don't see Armut. I just see Caitlin.
Yeah.
She would go for him. She would like gesture to him. So you wouldn't mind if I ride that?
Shard turns. And he turns back to you with a cat-like face. Ooh. We could share him.
No. I was more thinking someone who might align with what I want. You know, since you were talking about maybe possibly cutting this off early.
Oh. Well. He shrugs. I mean, if you want, I guess. I won't stop you.
Is he telling the truth? Would she be able to tell?
Roll an insight.
14. Shitty ass rolls. Sorry.
Well, yeah, with a 14, it's hard to tell. But you see that this woman joins their, like, friend group. Like, she goes and sits down by them with her breakfast. And there is, like, definite more friend shape happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, she would shrug. Okay, just getting a feel for what you're cool with and not cool with, you know.
Pretty much dictated by my mood.
Okay, for the record, we won't be sharing anyone. I don't share, so if you're going to do something with somebody, just don't fucking tell me. It doesn't have to be a thing.
You can feel his eyebrows are lifting under his hair. He's like,
Okay. I can do that.
Lovely. I don't know if you want to know about my escapades, not that I intend to have any, but
Why not? You should. Today could be your last day.
very short-sighted.
Yeah. Here, I'll tell you something real. I grew up in a cage.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Are we talking like freaky BDSM, whip me daddy, it feels good cage, or...
No. The kind that makes you question if you're even worthwhile.
and he takes a bite of your cookie and is like, you should try it. It's pretty good.
She'll take a bite of it. If it's in his hand, she'll just like lean over and take a bite of it while looking him in the eye and like kind of squinting at him, trying to like discern whether or not he's actually telling the truth.
Who do you think he is? His smile is sweet and cheeky, but there's a sadness to it.
You can decide whether or not you're worth it. Nobody else determines your worth. So, regardless of how you grew up, get fucking calls. Regardless of how you grew up, let's just say I'm rooting for you to find your worth in yourself.
Because you're so close to bite the cookie, he closes the distance, licks some chocolate from your mouth, and kisses you.
Is it would she be able to tell if it's a distraction of a kiss or is it genuine?
It feels like he wanted to. More on the genuine side.
Okay. She would hum into the kiss and then she would hum into the kiss and then like sneakily like make it seem like she's gonna deepen it, but instead she'll like bend her head down a little bit more to get another bite. And you know, you're actually right. This is really good.
Fucking good, told you.
And he takes another bite, sets it back.
Think we're gonna have to fight each other today? You know what? I'm probably gonna get attacked in like a scary dark hallway for killing someone.
Probably.
Yeah. He was a cute tiefling too.
But I mean, maybe not.
Yeah.
There's two ways to look at it. There's only a certain number of dragons willing to bond, and I think there's more cadets than there are dragons, so...
Exactly my thoughts.
He
How
shrugs.
about, let's say, you and I, when we can and the opportunity presents itself, we kill where we can. You want a dragon, I want a dragon, and I don't know, I feel like the stronger we prove ourselves to be and the less people there are to claim dragons, we should end up on top. Unless you're scared.
You have such a funny way of talking. Is it
How's that?
real that you're so afraid of me disagreeing with you that you have to bully me?
No.
I mean,
I
I'm kind of into mean girls. I like it. It just... You
it's a good thing I bully you because I like it.
He sticks out his hand and then shows you his pinky.
Sure. We'll thin out the weak. The ones who don't deserve a dragon.
That does not include ugly people, okay? They can be deserving if they're ugly. It's just putting that out there.
He laughs.
I
You
don't know
are
how you function.
fucking wild. And he hooks your pinky and shakes it.
Oh,
He's like, you are the craziest fucking lady I've ever met, but I'm so into you.
Yeah, she'll pinky promise him. Would she at this point see anybody from the party?
Yes. At this point, Talion, Zafkael, Sora, However, I want to meanwhile.
Wait.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
just had one more thing to say.
No worries. I just have one last thing before the evening's over for Talion. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Just before, like, once she spots them, she is going to, yeah, while like Pinky, like, it's still in the Pinky Promise, kiss his forehead. Try not to catch crabs while I'm gone. And she's going to go to meet up with the rest of the party.
Okay. We'll get to that in just a moment. Talion, this is the evening before. Perception check. I need you to roll on Foundry, and you cannot use any rerolls. What you get is what you get.
At perception?
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. The question is, okay, so I can use inspirations. The question is, do I use my charge of advantage for this? You know what? No, fuck it. Let it ride. Probably should have used it. Okay. It's only a 9.
Okay. When you rest, you do not awaken. Someone stands over your and Zafkael's bed watching the two of you. Briefly. But there is a dedicated plan that is clear in their discerning eye. Friend or enemy, they are watching you. Watching all of you. When you do wake, it is hours later. The pounding on your door, the rider Wren calling all of you to breakfast, finished with her night warden duties. However, each of you, I need all 4 of you, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. We have to roll those in
Scaled.
Foundry, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that wasn't bad. 18.
Can I use a reroll?
Mhm.
The one that Crone gave me. Thanks, Crone. I needed that. Watch it be like a 1. Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
I'm gonna use an inspiration on that one.
Okay, make sure you're rolling these saving throws on Foundry.
I assume we can hit the long rest button too.
Yes.
Okay, that's better. Let me see something. Why not? I have a couple of D4 charges. I'll use one. Nice. Okay, so that's a 21 total.
Okay, in the order in which you posted them on Foundry, go ahead and let chat know out loud what you got.
Starts with you, Mimi.
So, Mimi.
I got an 18.
I got a 14.
I got an 18.
I got a 21.
So all of you remember your dream. And it is a dream of flying. But each of you are on the back of a different dragon. Some are on the back of a dragon with fur and feathers. Others a dragon with spikes and poison. And even still, others fly a dragon with fluttering insectile wings. And then there is one among you that rides something filled with death. They are the final shadow, a sky titan, a king of earth and cloud, of air and water. The dragons are watching.
every move that you make, every conversation that you have. They are witnessing you in a star-blind sky. Succeed or fail. These dragons desire your character. To bond. Only one. In a lifetime. Each of you awake with renewed vigor and hope. And a healthy dose of trepidation. Everybody gets an inspiration.
Yay!
And the DM needs to use their restroom really quick before I describe your next class, which is about the dragons and how you bond them.
Yes!
So I'll be right back. And we are back. All of you eat breakfast together. It seems that there are first, second, third, fourth years all eating in this cafeteria. Anyone above a fourth year you don't see. However, you are directed by your section leader, Armut. To follow him. Surprisingly, this class is in the triage spire. Sora, you recognize one of the classrooms. It's a theater style. The seats stacked and layered so that the very top is looking down like the stage is an amphitheater. First, second, and third years are all in this class. A woman with clear brown skin, obsidian eyes, steps out onto the theater stage of the classroom. She wears robes of a deep navy blue and black. There are some silver designs that look like dragons in flight down her lapels. And she says, "Welcome. This is your introduction to Draconic Creatures class, and I am your professor. From here on out, you will call me Professor Valor. And I will call you based on your name and ranking. Can anyone name at least 3 of the dragon houses here at Mortalis Academy? Any of my first years?" Anyone in the party raise their hand? Lamb raises his hand. Yes.
I think Zafkiel will raise his hand right after. Just
Okay. You are called on, Zafkael.
well, there's Terrafox, the one we're in the wing of right now. Tyrannus and Inferni, right?
Very good. Yes. 15 points to Armut and his section, and wing leader Kalen. And Armut's like, "Yes! Good job! Well done!" You'll be using those during war games. Worry not, first years, you'll learn about those soon enough. Today, we will be speaking of Inferna. Passion, destruction, glory. House Inferna, or the flame-bound dragons, are called to their draconic predecessors the Red Dragon Flight. We, as mortals, do not call them the Dragon Flight, as we are not the ones flying, though each section is called a riot, with rider and bonded dragon. And she draws on the chalkboard magically what looks to be dragons in flight bearing a little stick figure rider. This is a riot. At least 3 dragon riders are required to form a riot. If you plan to bond a dragon from House Inferno, your wing will change. Your section leader will change. And after threshing, that will be decided. The values of these dragons are dominance, legacy, and power through fire. Some of you may have seen the nightmare worm, or Terranaxis. And she snaps her fingers and a couple orbs descend, and each of them are glowing orange, and then purple, blue, and a soft green. And from these orbs, a depiction of Terranaxis in flight appears. And it is a little frightening. This was the dragon in history least likely to bond. However, he was bound last year, forming an attachment with an impressive rider. In House Inferno, Terranaxis is an outlier. Dragons themselves have rules. Rules that we, in this class, and as a species, do not entirely understand, but must respect regardless. A dragon is never required to tell you their plans, their machinations, and or answer any of your questions. They have goals simply beyond some of our understandings, but if you are lucky, and you know what these dragons value, you can climb to the highest peak where those that desire to witness threshing rest. The skills of this dragon finds particularly interesting: intimidation, athletic ability, and surprisingly, persuasion. You will find that the house traits and its members are typically fierce, ambitious, and proud. The dragons themselves thrive in battle and leadership. Terranaxis is no different. He would be the reigning general of the Inferno Wing if he cared. I think in some cases we are lucky he does not. And he actually owes his allegiance to a different leader of the Dragon Imperium. Regardless, these dragons tend to breathe fire. They tend to burn at a general temperature hot enough to melt living flesh. Once you bond, if you choose to do so, a dragon from the Inferno house, you'll become immune to your dragon-specific burning, but not its fire. The fire comes in a difference of color, violet being the hottest, green being the most temperate. But she points at all of the colors of the orbs, but you will find that each one is capable of melting flesh and bone. On the rare occasion, dragons, like the living nightmare, breathe both fire and electricity. in combination. The older the dragon, the more changes to its breath weapon. Dragons in general are immune to a majority of poisons. So, as their riders, you must be as well. From here, if you look to your left and your right, you will notice that there is alchemical equipment. Each dragon class, we will do a little alchemy as well, training you in the ways of, well, apothecary goodness, one could call it. Never look a dragon in the eye. Always bow and show them respect upon first meeting. And do not dare speak a dragon's name unless it has given it to you specifically. Should you bond a dragon from House Inferno, you will be most impressive to our commanders here at Mortalis. Inferno is not the house that bonds the least, but it is one of the most difficult. Intimidation and persuasion are hand in hand to these great creatures. Unsurprisingly, they value honesty, straightforward communication, even though they themselves harbor secrets that we have no rights to design to know. Are there any questions so far from my new cadets?
Shura shakes her head no and is like leaning on her face with one hand. Just trying to listen as attentively as possible.
Lysandra is writing everything down, but also she is sketching out the tattoo that she saw on Shard.
Okay. You got it. The motto of House Inferna is "From embers we rise." Remember that. May serve you well. Go ahead, Talion.
I brain farted what I was going to say. Yeah, no, I lost it. Sorry, I don't remember.
No worries. Anything from Kyle then?
Staff Kyle is just listening intently.
Oh, wait, now I remember. Jesus. Talion didn't have a question, but he was sort of glancing at the alchemical equipment that was mentioned. Sort of trying to get a vibe of what's exactly there.
Lots. From poisons to health, to simple, like, calming the nerves sort of tea and etc.
Interesting. Okay.
Right. She continues. The rest of it is simply information about dragons in general. Their scales being harder than adamantine and mithril, how fast they are in flight and travel. You learn about their organs, their 8-chambered hearts, the fact that they have 2 livers, their skeleton itself. The bones are filled with magic themselves. Every piece of a dragon is magic. And all of that, once bonded, is channeled to you, their rider. And it forms a unique element, a unique magic. Some of these bonded skills have been written, recorded, because they've cropped up over the centuries again and again. Some of them, there are only ever one. For example, time magic. There's only ever been one in existence. In all of the hundreds of years that dragons have bound. You learn of the great dragons of the Inferno House. The colossal, titanic generals. Right? So we're gonna do an aptitude test. I need everyone to make an intelligence saving throw for how well your notes are. Depending on what you get, will depend on some boons if you try to bond a dragon from House Inferna.
Yeah, I'm a
Or she's like, yes, Talion.
Lysandra,
Mold you.
Sora, and Talion will all get a plus 1d4 to their roll required to bond a red Inferna dragon.
What? No fucking way! What? That actually surprised me. All right, well, Leroy Jenkins, this bitch. Okay, there you go. 17. That's as good as it's gonna get.
All right. Save that in your pocket for threshing day.
Oh my god, what? Wait, the 1d4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's for
That's
bonding
for
a dragon, not for
roughing.
this roll.
Okay. Oh, okay, sorry.
I rolled too low to get it.
The class shifts to begin learning alchemy. And after an hour, this class is like 3 or 4 hours long. After doing some alchemy, you come back and you learn. It begins talking about House Tyrannus, the Stormforged, the House of the Sky Titan. And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
To let you know right now, Sora was struggling with alchemics because just like her player, she and alchemy just it's very technical science.